Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? I hope so. Listen, let's get into Hard and Hustle Houston, season 2, episode 1. Let's get into this recap. These are just my thoughts. This is just how I saw the episode. So, Latoria, she had her second annual, I think she called it Silver Dress Red Lip event. She invited all the ladies, but Ro and Chloe were the only ones who attended. I think she said that Elena was out of the country and Labrina and Manera, they wasn't there. So we found out that there were some comments made by Labrina regarding the ladies not being on her level, being told that Chloe was a scammer. And Latoria said that one of her friends told her that she overheard Labrina calling her precious. Now, at the Vineyard back in season 1, they got into a conversation about Labrina saying that the women weren't on her level. They did a flashback and Labrina explained that she meant it as far as her piece, not in the business sense. The way I took it was that she was saying basically it seems like these women are still working through some traumas or some heavy things and I've been there, done that. I put in the work and it's onward and upward for me. I don't even want to be around that type of energy. But I can see how someone could take you're not on my level as a dig. Me personally, I wouldn't. I was taught how to not center myself or make myself the subject of everything that is being said. That's how staying in your place was explained to us growing up, for instance. Okay, so one day my grandma was talking about my little cousin saying he doesn't listen. She always had to repeat herself. She's constantly telling him to refill the candy jars. Well, my other cousin walked up on the tail end of the conversation. She was in the house getting a freeze cup because my grandma was the candy lady on the block. Well, my cousin says, Grandma, I don't do that. I don't do stuff like that. I always refill the jars. My aunt, she looks at her and says, now see, if you would have stayed in your place and minded your business, you wouldn't be all in your feelings right now. You made something that wasn't even about you, about you. If you know you always refill the jars, why would you assume? And that's how she would say it. You know how they say when you assume, you make a ass out of yourself. So whenever she was telling you that's what you just did, she would put extra emphasis on the eggs. Okay. So my cousin, she gets to stuttering saying, well, she was talking about refilling the jar. So I thought she was talking about me. My aunt said, so again, you assumed. Then got offended when you could have easily said to yourself, well, I know she ain't talking about me because I don't do that. Right? You could have just went over there to the swing and ate your freeze cup and enjoyed the breeze. Right? Because your place was to mind your business. Especially when you know it ain't about you. You chose to get offended about something that had absolutely nothing to do with you. Next time, leave it alone and get out your feelings. So I've carried that with me. That has saved me a lot of times from making myself the center or the subject of a conversation that has absolutely nothing to do with me. So I didn't have to get offended and look crazy because now I'm trying to fight for why I should feel the way that I feel. So yeah, me personally, I would not have felt that she was looking down on me because first of all, she doesn't even know me like that to even put that type of label on me. So for me, when I know it doesn't apply, I let it fly. So then they show the flashback of Labrina saying that someone told her that Chloe was a scammer and that she would keep the receipts, I guess maybe wear something and take it back, that she was a straight shooter, all that. Now in the flashback, we only see Chloe make a face. If she said anything, it wasn't shown in the flashback. But in the current episode, Chloe said she brought it up because she felt some way about it. Okay, she has every right to feel away. But do you feel away because it was a lie or the truth? There can only be two things that were said. Me, I'd be like, wait a minute, now that's a lie. I don't know who told you, but whoever told you that, they're a liar. Or it could be, now listen, I ain't gonna say that back in the day, I didn't wear a couple of things to take it back to the store. So as far as being a scammer, Labrina would have to elaborate some more about that for me. Cause scamming who? Like, girl, don't put that label on me. But also, I don't like for people to come back to me in their feelings after we finish the conversation. I'm big on asking, is there anything else we need to talk about? Cause you already know once we end this, we're leaving it here. If you come back trying to bring it back up, you know I'm going to say, I don't want to hear that. Because that usually happens when folks go back and they start talking to other folks. Now they done got in their feelings again and then they want to come back and another thing. No, we're not for the another thing this situation. No ma'am. Save it. Write it in your journal. Whatever you got to do, but I don't want to hear it. Then it was the precious coming. So Latoria has a way of using loaded language, sort of like framing. And I don't like when people do that. Don't try to influence how I feel about the situation before you even give me a chance to hear what you're about to say. Let me form my own opinion. Don't try to make it sound more extra than it really is. I don't like that kind of stuff. So Latoria says, Labrina said we weren't on her level. She said things about our friendships and people that we love. And Roy's like, what did she say about people that we love? And so she said, well, one of my friends who are honored at the event, she overheard her call her precious. And Rose says, like the movie? In her confessional, Latoria says, it was brought to my attention by one of my friends that I honored at my women's making history dinner. She called her precious. To be very honest, in the Black community, that ain't never been a compliment. Comparing a woman of curves who is plus sized and beautiful to Precious the character, no way you can take that as a compliment. And when Latoria described Precious, she said, Precious was a character in a movie who was known for being a little bit on the larger size and unattractive. And I found that quite interesting because what I take from it is that you feel like she was calling your friend unattractive because it can't be the larger size because the woman that they zoomed in on was a plus size woman. And I can see Latoria feeling the way because she is also a plus size dark skinned Black woman. I don't know how the woman felt. I can't speak on her feelings because I have never been a plus size dark skinned Black woman. I don't know what she felt when she heard that, right? I don't know how it feels to grow up with people coming at you about your size, your skin color, and saying things about you not cute because of it. But I have heard it said by people. I used to work with this girl, and one day we were on break. And I can't remember exactly what the conversation was about, but it had to do with some clothes or something. But she said if she was ever to get big, she would be disgusted with herself. And I'm like, but what if you end up with some type of health condition that may cause you might need to take medication and it may make you gain weight? She said that will be her last day here. And I knew then, yep, I can't fool with you. And do y'all remember when I told y'all a while back that I can't stand when you start a new job and you have that person who comes up to you talking about, hey girl, let me tell you who to watch. And I'm like, well, it's probably you because I don't like people who do that. I mean, but hey, that's just the type of person she was. But anyway, I could see how the lady may have felt the way, but at the same time, I think it could have been taken out of context. Labrina could have easily been saying that the lady favored Precious. When you see the lady on camera, she does favor Precious. Or Gabourey Sidibe. And I wonder if she would have said, oh, look at her, she favors Gabourey, would the feelings have been the same? Or would it have still been offensive because she's a plus size woman? Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out because when they zoomed in on the lady, she does favor, I'm going to say Gabourey. She has the same tight eyes, the fat face, the little cheeks, dark skin. So she does favor her. So I'm feeling like that's probably what Labrina was saying. I don't think she was saying that lady big and unattractive. I don't think that's what it is. That's why I'm asking if she would have said, hey, she favor Gabourey, don't he? And I'm just asking because Gabourey doesn't look like the character that she played. Even Latoria described Precious as on the larger side and unattractive. What made Precious unattractive? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying that the lady's feelings weren't valid. She has every right to feel what she felt when she heard what she heard. So then Chloe catches Latoria up on Jordan, possibly cheating. Chloe talking about it's okay. He's never been in a relationship like this before. Latoria says it's not okay. Roy's like, listen, if you're going to rock with him as your friend, I'll keep it cool. But I'm still going to give him a side eye and let him know not to be playing with my girl like that. And the whole time I'm like, Chloe, you can't want to be in a relationship that bad. But hey, I guess this is what people be talking about when, that we talk about older people having more life experiences. What could they possibly have in common with a younger person? And most times, I don't think it has to do with having things in common 100%. It's more about the connection. And I just need everybody to be over 30. After that, it is what it is. Y'all do what y'all do. So Labrina and Manera, they talk about the situation in therapy. Labrina says she has explained what she meant about the not being on my level statement. And if you still feel a certain way after I said that, then that's on you. But I meant what I said. And I can see where she's coming from, because there comes a point where the person can apologize because you felt a way about what was said, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they will change what they said. In my opinion, that's when the apology is fake, because when I said it, I meant it, and I'm going to stand on it. If I take it back, sometimes people will be like, nah, don't take it back now, stand on it. Well, if that's the case, why are you over here seeking an apology? But hey, we'll see where this goes. So Elena, she meets up with the girls. She meets up with Latoria, Chloe, and Ro, and she catches them up on her situation with Josh. She says she wanted her and Josh to work. She wanted him to try harder. Basically the same stuff she said all first season. She said since his efforts weren't meeting her expectations, she asked him to leave. Josh, he drops by Labrina's house to hang, to holler at Will. He tells them that he tried to reach out to Elena, make plans for them to talk, spend time with the kids. She wasn't responding back. He said that he saw her on social media having a good time. He was like, yeah, she don't want this. She moving on. He then tells Labrina that he wasn't the only one who did wrong or messed up. Labrina asked him if he was referring to cheating. Josh says yes. But when he said that, I was like, hold up, Josh. Was this before or after you cheated? I mean, you shouldn't cheat, but whoever breaks that contract first, in my opinion, everything after that is fair game. Now, you could leave, but you know how some folks like to try and hang on. So in the trailer for the second episode, there's a scene where Elena is sitting with Labrina and she says, why didn't you come to me before talking about such sensitive things? She says something like that. And I think she's talking about Josh. I don't think she's asking Labrina, why didn't you come to her? I think she's saying, why didn't Josh come to her first to say he was going to share that information? I could be wrong. You know how they slice these trailers up. They'll have you thinking one thing and then you see the episode and it's something totally different. But if you saw the first episode of season 2 for Heart and Hustle Houston, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think and I'll talk to y'all later.